So I knew it would happen, and it has just happened. I've had my first negative comments since I've been doing stuff online about the pigeon sport. So for 2 weeks now, I've been as involved as I can be on Facebook and what have you. And I'm here to set the record straight a little bit. This is the only time I'll be doing it, but I just thought I would set the record straight. Just 1 second, I got something wrong with this video. So I started keeping pigeons at the age of 12, and I stopped about the age of 21. Other things got in the way, work and business happened. I was a multimillionaire by the age of 24, and I was bankrupt by the age of 30. I've made some pretty stupid decisions in my life when it comes to business, a few personal ones, but mainly business. And I've essentially made and lost millions. Some of the stupid decisions I've made have been well documented, and I've never hidden from them. In fact, I wrote a book about my life in 2013, which anybody is welcome to read. I will gladly send them a copy for them to read. And that book goes through my life from the age of 14 to the age of, what am I now? To the age of about 36. So I've never hidden any area of my life. I'm not particularly ashamed of any area of my life or anything like that. But like I say, I have made some stupid decisions. What I've learned in the last 10 years or so, increasingly in the last 5 years really, is that timing is everything. So a couple of the comments I've had this morning have questioned my timing, why I'm getting involved in the pigeon sport and trying to revolutionise it now. They've questioned my skills, and they've questioned my intentions really. And like I say, I knew this would happen, but not that it bothers me, but I'm here to set the record straight so you hear it from the horse's mouth, as it were. My past has been well documented, like I said. I have lived a life that most people don't live in their entire lifetime. At the age of 44, I've lived a life where I've lived a pretty full-on life. And part of being an entrepreneur like I am, and I have been since the age of 14, is that ultimately you get your fair share of failures. Instead, increasingly, if you continue to try as hard as you do, you get more failures than you do successes. But it's making sure the successes are big enough and the failures don't happen too often. So with regards to my intentions in this business are very simple. I am not doing anything of what I'm talked about for financial gain now. The setup of racingpigeonnetwork.com will be completely free for anybody to join, and the only way that any monetization of that site will ever happen is advertising down the line, when the site's big enough to be able to warrant paid advertising. And all of the advertising revenue that comes in will go back into the development of and the maturity of the network. RacingPigeonInternational.com, set up as a portal, will be that. It will be a portal that brings the latest news, live events, video reporting, and everything else we can do. So I'm not doing those two things for profit. I have other businesses that I'm working on that generate profits. So those two things are not being done for profit in any way. I have a dream one day of having a commercial stud. That will be a commercial enterprise. It will also help other people to enter birds into one-off races that don't want to keep them. They can simply buy the young birds to enter, and I've got a lot of plans with that. But that is a commercial thing that one day I will have a stud where I don't race in the UK. I race young birds into one-off races, and the stud produces young birds to put into one-off races. And over a period of time, a long period of time, it will be a commercial stud where ultimately we will be breeding birds to be able to sell, in addition to the one-off races that we'll be entering in as well. And hopefully the commercial side of it will pay for the entering of the one-off races and the participation in them. So intention is everything, and my intentions are to help this sport. I, for the last 2 weeks, have been involved in this a lot more than I anticipated being. I've took extreme pleasure of speaking to many people, and it's been really exciting. I've done a lot of businesses in the past where I've done it just for the money. I've done a lot of things where obviously we all have to do things for the money. I'm not doing this for the money, and I'm doing it for the pure passion of the sport. Like I say, I've had people question why now. Well, for me, timing wise, is the right time. My 15-year-old son is also interested in this, and that's going to be a big help to me as well. And timing's everything, and like I say, the right time is now for me, because things are a lot more settled for me than they have been in previous years. So my intentions are to genuinely help. Like I've said, I have offered to help any organisation or association or organisation that wants my help and my skill set. My skills have been questioned this morning again. I've had people questioning my skills and what I can do. I've been marketing online since 1997. I used to run 32,000 websites back in 1999 to 2001. There isn't a lot about online marketing that I don't know without sounding too big-headed. And technology-wise, I've been involved in Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies and blockchain for the last 6 years, which makes me somewhat of an old-timer when it comes to that in that business. So yeah, like I say, I've had my fair share of failures, and some of those failures have been pretty catastrophic in the past. One of the last failures that's been well documented was in 2005 when like I said earlier, timing is everything, and I was way too early trying to set up a brand new business that did involve people investing into that business. People did lose money with that business, but the reality is if that had happened 2 years ago, things would have been very different. Like I say, timing is everything. So, but one of the reasons I still have some of my biggest people who did lose with that business that are still friends of mine, who still regularly speak to me and who I class as friends, is that they were probably professional investors, and I also know my intentions. My intentions were never to screw it up or do anything wrong. My intention was to make a success, of course. Why wouldn't it be? But I've pledged one day to make good to those people that that lost out. The harsh reality is people write a lot of crap online about you. I'm used to it now. It doesn't bother me. But the other reality of it is that actually people would probably never say some of the stuff they write about you to your face. I'm very sure of that. All I'm saying is what people may read online is not necessarily the truth. And there's always two sides to the story. So why I'm getting involved in pigeons is because I've had a passion for racing pigeons since I was the age of 12. It's a hobby of mine that will ultimately I will enjoy. Like I say, I've enjoyed for the last 2 years, 2 weeks, all of the interactions I've had with everybody and mostly positive feedback I've had and all of the people I've spoken to in the last week. I've spoken to many people in the last 2 weeks about my thoughts and my plans. So moving forward, like I say, my plan is not to set up Racing Pigeon Network and International for any monetary gain. The reality is I've got far bigger things that I'm working on business-wise to focus on. And I'm not just saying that these things are not important and big to me, but from a financial point of view, it's not something that over any period of time in a short to medium distance could ever be monetized. I'm looking to build a network of people, and because China is banned from Facebook, I think the idea of a pigeon-based social network is a very good thing to unite people around the world. And my commercial plans long term is to have a racing pigeon stud, which will be a commercial thing. My skills, like I say, I think I can bring a lot to the table, and the harsh reality is I don't see too many people offering to do it, and I think I can bring a lot to the table. I think outside the box, and it's already proven that the majority of the feedback that I've got about my thoughts and ideas are positive. I'm completely open to speaking to anybody about it that wants to speak to me more about the past and my successes and failures that I've had, but I'm an open book when it comes to that. So moving forward, this is all I'll be talking about it. I will just be focusing on my plans, which is to get the Racing Pigeon Network up and running the best I can, and to see the plans and the ideas that I've got become a reality. And in addition, like I said, I've already offered to help anybody for free, any association or organisation that wants my help in any way, shape or form. So there's my intentions. I hope that's set the record straight. Like I say, I'm welcome to speak to anybody about it specifically, but being the type of person I am, like I've been an entrepreneur, like I say, for the last 30 years, you have your fair share of successes and failures, and that's just the way it is. And I go to bed at night sleeping very well, knowing my intentions and my life is how I want it to be. I really do think, again, without sounding big-headed, that I can bring a lot to the table with this. I can do a lot for this sport, and some of the ideas that I've got can really help it grow and expand. And the knowledge I've got when it comes to marketing and specifically online stuff, again, without sounding big-headed, not a lot of people know as much as I do when it comes to it. So let's just see what comments we've got. Carl Fox, need more people like you in sport. Thank you. I appreciate that. Like I say, I knew it was going to happen. The negativity was going to come. Listen, the last 30 years I've known some people in pigeons are the most negative people you'll ever want to meet. You know, let's call it as it is. Not everybody. And specifically within the UK, there seems to be a different mindset when it comes to, like I've talked about, I don't see why money is bad in this sport. I think it's a good thing. I think world record prices are great for our sport. Without going through all that again, I think it's a good thing. I think there should be more entrepreneurs involved. But I wanted to set the record straight about what my intentions are for Racing Pigeon Network. There's no money in it. It's going to be a long-term plan to build a massive network of people all around the world that are involved in racing pigeons. It's as simple as that. And like I say, if it comes to a point where we've got the mass numbers involved, where the advertising can be monetized, because I'm going to be offering advertising for free to anybody that wants it, to give that value to people that are in the network. I intend to list all the commercial auctions on Racing Pigeon International for free, and any commercial business will get a link to it from on the site completely for free. Over a period of time, long term, there may be, we can monetize the advertising of it, and if that's the case, it will just simply go back into growing the network and growing things and getting it bigger and better. Trust me, I've got enough going on in my business life to be worrying about not having to worry about generating money from the pigeon game. And like I said, I've said before, say it again, I will one day have a commercial breeding stud where we compete in one-off races and we ultimately end up selling young birds from our stud birds. That will be a commercial thing at some point that I do, but that's a long time away. So there you go. Thank you for the feedback, Carl. And hi, Costi. Thank you, Kevin. And that's it, really. I just wanted to put that out there. Like I say, I'll talk to anybody about my life. I'm an open book. And there we go. Thanks for watching. Catch you soon.